Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are continuing this series of reading Proverbs together, reading Proverbs 26 in the New Living Translation. Here's the cover of my Bible, starting in verse 1. Honor is no more associated with fools than snow with summer or rain with harvest. What does that mean? Honor and fools, they don't go together. I'll tell you that. Fools will not be honored, and that's why we want to learn wisdom. Like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse will not land on its intended victim. Guide a horse with a whip, a donkey with a bridle, and a fool with a rod to its back. Don't answer the foolish arguments of fools, or you will become as foolish as they are. Be sure to answer the foolish arguments of fools, or they will become wise in their own estimation. So it's funny that these two verses are back to back, because it says, don't answer the foolish arguments of fools, or you will become foolish like them. But then it says, be sure to answer them, because they might think that they're smart if you don't answer them. So I think what this is saying is you kind of need to pick which moment is right? In some moments, you will need to answer the arguments of fools because they'll think that they're too smart if you don't check them, if you don't give them answers to their foolishness. On the other hand, sometimes you just gotta let them run with it because you don't wanna go round and round and round with someone who's foolish, right? So, both of these things are true. Both of these things are true. You just have to pick the right moment is what I think it's saying. Trusting a fool to convey a message is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. Wow. So trusting a fool to do something important could harm you, is what this is saying. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is as useless as a paralyzed leg. Honoring a fool is as foolish as tying a stone to a slingshot. So it's, again, honor and fools, they don't go together. A slingshot, you're supposed to put the rock in and then it's supposed to project out. So this is saying if you honor a fool, it's as stupid as tying a stone to a slingshot. If you tie a stone to a slingshot, instead of going out and the stone flying forward, it's going to come back and hit you in the face. So again, this is saying trusting in fools, giving them too much responsibility is going to hurt you in the long run. A proverb in the mouth of a fool is like a thorny branch brandished by a drunk. An employer who hires a fool or a bystander is like an archer who shoots at random. Gosh. So this is saying that a leader who hires a fool, they're also a little silly. It means they don't really have a goal. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats its foolishness. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats its foolishness. God, help me not to repeat my foolishness. Ugh. But, sometimes some people do that. But not me, and not you, okay? There is more hope for fools than for people who think they are wise. I know some of those. I know people who think that they're wise and they're not. But I guess there's more hope for a fool who knows he's a fool than a fool who thinks he's wise. Do you see what I'm saying? There's hope for the fool who knows he's a fool because he has room to grow because he's being honest with himself. Someone who is a fool but thinks that they're wise, they think they don't need to change is what it's saying. The lazy person claims, there's a lion in the road. Yes, I'm sure there's a lion out there. As a door swings back and forth on its hinges, so the lazy person turns over in bed. Lazy people take food in their hand, but don't even lift it to their mouth. Lazy people consider themselves smarter than 7 wise counselors. What does that mean, actually? Let's go back. Lazy people take food in their hand, but don't even lift it to their mouth. That means lazy people, they start out trying to help themselves, and then they stop short. They don't finish things. God, help me to finish what I start in the name of Jesus. finish this Proverbs series. How about that? Interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. What does that mean? If other people are fighting and you're not in it, you stay out of it. You stay out of it. You mind your own business. Or you're gonna get bit. If you yank a dog's ear, that dog's gonna bite you. Interfering in someone else's argument is foolish, like yanking a dog's ears. Mind your business. Just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, "I was only joking." You know, I hate when someone says something mean to me, and then when I react to it, say, "Oh, I was only joking." No, you weren't, and it's not funny. I actually had to say that to someone. Someone was being rude to me. Someone was yelling at me. And I responded and said, "No, I'm not gonna let you talk to me like that." And he said, "Oh, I was only joking." Okay, well, I'm not joking. And I think that's an excuse. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I was only joking," and it's just an excuse. It's not funny. And honestly, you'll have to pay the consequences of that joke. That person, he has to pay the consequences for joking with me that one time. I hope it was worth it. Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. Fire goes out without wood, and quarrels disappear when gossip stops. What does that mean? Gossip is what starts fights. And the same way wood is what starts a bonfire and what you need to keep a bonfire growing. People stop fighting usually. Quarrels will stop if people stop gossiping. Stop saying nasty things about each other, behind each other's back. A quarrelsome person starts fights as easily as hot embers light charcoal or fire lights wood. Rumors are dainty morsels that sink deep into one's heart. Smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as a pretty glaze covers a clay pot. I mean, sometimes people can sound good, but they actually have wickedness on the inside of their hearts. Smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as a pretty glaze covers a clay pot. People may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they're deceiving you. They pretend to be kind, but don't believe them. Their hearts are full of many evils. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, their wrongdoing will be exposed in public. Okay, so think about that. Sometimes people sound like they're nice to you. They'll say nice things to you. They'll act like they're your friend, but you can tell if they're your friend by how they treat you and by their actions towards you, is what this is saying. And you should believe someone's actions towards you more than you believe the nice words that they say to you. If you set a trap for others, you will get caught in it yourself. If you roll a boulder down on others, it will crush you instead. A lying tongue hates its victims, and flattering words cause ruin. Wow. That is Proverbs 26 in the New Living Translation. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this. Maybe you all interpreted a verse differently than I did. I would love to hear it. Send this video to someone who needs to hear Proverbs 26. Be sure to like this video if you haven't liked it, and subscribe. Why haven't you subscribed? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.